is probably the only book you'll need for this year, or forever, actually. If 2016 is where you commit to travel, stop dreaming, start traveling. We are so lucky to have Russell Hannon in the studio. Nice to meet you, my friend.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
I think travel writers, I'm just going to say romantically right off the top, you have the best job. You've been everywhere, probably. You've been to these places that you're about to tell us about.
Well, you know what? My motto is really to travel at a fraction of the going rate. So the places I do go to, I travel for significantly less than what the average person pays for. But with 2016 right now, and the weather is bad, people are thinking ahead to what they want to do in 2016. There's a few places that have been shortlisted in a lot of publications as the top places to visit in 2016. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to go through them.
I think that's a perfect idea, because I think a lot of people are also thinking that they either can't afford travel. It's just too, like right now, even though it's more accessible, it's also very intimidating when you don't know what you're getting into. And this is where you come in and you say, no, my friends, I've been there. Let me guide you. Top 5 places that you would recommend. We're going to start with number 1.
Number 1, St. Helena's Island. Actually, this is one of the most remote islands in the world. In fact, it's where Napoleon Bonaparte was sent into exile. Now, the thing with this, it actually takes 5.5 days at sea to get there, but starting next month, they're opening their first airport ever. A lot of challenges building it, and in the middle of the South Atlantic, it's just this unbelievable island that just comes out of massive cliffs, beautiful waterfalls, no light pollution, so amazing stargazing, and you can actually see where Napoleon Bonaparte had lived out his last few years.
Wow, that would be crazy cool.
So because of the accessibility, that's why it's so high on the list this year of places to visit.
And that is accessible only starting next month?
Yes, starting next month. Number 2, Cuba is known mostly for cigars and Latin dancing, but I find the appeal to it is the time machine, where you've got all these beautiful, colorful cars going back to the 1950s. But now with the U.S. lifting sanctions on Cuba, what's happening there now is you can expect that to start to fade. So I recommend going to Cuba sooner as opposed to later.
That's what everybody says, to get a true sense of what the authentic Cuba is.
That's right. And there's actually Carnival Cruises announced they're starting cruises to Cuba in May of this year.
And cruises are a great way. I mean, I think I think that we used to think that they were sort of for an older generation. Tons of my younger pals are doing it and loving it.
That's right. And you can find a themed cruise for just about anything that would suit your fancy. The number 3 on the list, actually, Rio is going to be the most sought out destination of places to visit. They're coming off a gap year between the World Cup and the Olympics.
Right.
Now, there's a myth. There's a myth that Olympic cities are too expensive to visit during the year that they host.
Right.
But you can easily go there in the months leading up to and shortly after the Olympics and not have to pay those premium rates that Olympic goers are going to have to pay.
Awesome. And number 4, you're taking us to South Africa.
That's right.
I love this.
Well, Lonely Planet named Botswana as their number 1 country to visit in 2016, mostly for a lot of the world's best safaris with massive herds of elephants, rhinos, hippos that you'll find there. And the thing is, there's a lot of direct international flights that are starting this year from other parts of South Africa, from Cape Town. So it's a lot more easily accessible in 2016 than it has been in the past.
Gotcha. Number 5, this is probably, if you're on a tight budget, number 5 is for you.
Yes, that's right. Now, Lonely Planet named Estonia as the top budget travel destination to visit in 2016. Now, when you think of Estonia, actually, there's a lot of medieval architecture there. And when you look at the forests, these enchanting forests that you see in these fairy tale fantasy movies, just unbelievably perfect and picturesque. So you can really get that medieval sort of fairy tale experience looking at Estonia as a place to visit.
So then how do you sort of, because this book is fantastic, and you have a book signing tomorrow, and you could actually meet Russell and talk to him and ask him more specific questions. But I'm curious, if somebody's listening right now, they're like, I want to go somewhere. How do you begin to sort of, after all 5 of those sound fantastic to me, how do I know which one I can do? Where do I start to break it down for me personally?
Well, you know what, you should have a long-term travel plan. All the places that you want to visit in the next 5 years, then look at the ones that are least expensive to visit today. That can get you started now traveling inexpensively and leveraging the people that you know in places that you'd like to visit and such. Take advantage of places where we have a currency advantage as opposed to a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Because there are places that we do still have a currency advantage. So take those things into account, and with time, we can find ways to visit those places that are expensive at a fraction of what it would cost to go today.
Awesome. Russell, you are amazing. What time is your book signing tomorrow?
11 till 4.
11 till 4 at the Indigo in South Edmonton Common. Go see this man, get this book, and then go on the trip of a life. Go on several. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you. Congratulations on the book.
Happy travels. Thank you for having me.